What if I told you that 90% of people using ChatGPT right now are only touching about 5% of what it can actually do? I was one of those people for months, asking generic questions, getting generic answers, and wondering what was the hype all about. Then I stumbled on 9 specific hacks that completely changed how I use this thing every single day. I'm breaking down all 9 of those hacks right now, and I'm telling you, hack number 7 alone saved me around 20 hours in one single month. Let's get into it. So the first hack is what I like to call letting ChatGPT interview you. And this one is a genuine cheat code. Adding context to your prompts is everything. But honestly, sometimes you don't even know what context is missing or how to even put it into words. Let me show you what I mean. So if I type in, write me a 5-email welcome sequence for my new subscribers, that's it, nothing else. From this, I'll probably get a super generic, boring set of emails written for me. Stuff that sounds like every other email sequence on the internet. Just completely untailored to my actual audience or the product that I'm promoting. But if I add this one simple line to the end of the instructions that I just gave it, ask me any clarifying questions that you need before you write them. This completely flips the whole thing. It will fire back 5, 6, sometimes even 10 questions about my product, my subscribers' pain points, my tone, and what I'm selling. And it usually asks me things that I wouldn't have otherwise included myself. So this first hack is going to instantly upgrade the quality of anything that you ask ChatGPT. But there's a massive problem that kicks in right after. And it's one that most people honestly never notice. So the second hack is something I call pretend it's not yours. And this one honestly took me way too long to figure out. Here's the overarching issue, right? Not just with ChatGPT, but like with most AIs. They're just built to be agreeable, like aggressively agreeable. So when you hand it something, let's say it's like a sales page, a YouTube script, or a cold email, and you simply ask it like, what do you think about this? It's gonna come back to you and say it's brilliant every time. And even when you push back and you say be harsh, rip it apart, it still softens the blow. It literally just can't help itself, right? The agreeable setting is just automatically baked in. So here's what to do instead. Never tell it that the work is yours. Tell it that the work belongs to someone else. Let me show you. So instead of saying, here's my sales page, what do you think about it, right? I'll say, a colleague sent me their sales page and asked me for their opinion about it. I've got some doubts about it, but I can't put my finger on what exactly the issue is. Can you critically evaluate and tell me what's weak? And as you can see, this is a completely different response. Now it's actually pulling the draft apart, calling out the weak hooks, the soft CTAs. It's quite literally giving me the real feedback that I needed in the first place. You're no longer fighting the agreeable settings anymore. It wants to be helpful to you, and the most helpful thing for it to do is shred someone else's work apart. Real quick, if you're already picking stuff up from this tutorial, go ahead and hit that like button right now. It genuinely helps this channel grow, and it means that my next video that I drop will show up on your YouTube feed. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming up in hack number 7. This is the one that saved me so much time in my workflow, so let's continue on here. So hack number 3 is the reverse prompt trick. And this one is quietly becoming one of my favorites. So here's how it works, right? You know how when you ask ChatGPT for something, it's almost never right on the first try. You go back and forth, you change this, you tweak that, you reword the tone, and then 15 messages later, you finally get to the output that you wanted in the first place. Think of it like almost cooking a meal without a recipe, right? You taste as you go, you add a bit more salt, add a bit more spice in until you get to the perfect taste. If you don't write that recipe down or you don't store that to memory, guess what? The next time you're back in the kitchen, you're going to be making that meal again from scratch. That's exactly what most people do with ChatGPT. They get the perfect output once, they close the tab, and then start all over again next time. So this is where the trick comes in. Write one single prompt that would have produced this exact result from the first try, that I can reuse for any niche or situation. That's the recipe right there. I did this recently for a content calendar I was building for a recent affiliate offer. Took me like almost 20 messages, 20 like back and forths, right? One reverse prompt later, I've now used this for 5 brand new offers with perfect results every single time. You're basically teaching ChatGPT to write its own recipe book. Now, everything I've shown you up until this point is about making your prompting better. But there's a specific feature that's built into ChatGPT that takes everything I'm about to show you to a completely different level. And until recently, most people couldn't even use it. I'm talking about projects. As you can see, this is sitting right above your chat history, which is just your previous conversations. Think of projects like having separate desks for different areas of your life. One for your business, one for your fitness, and another one for your personal life or content ideas. Instead of every conversation getting dumped into one endless scroll where all of your great ideas die, everything stays tucked away in its individual folders. But the real power move is this: inside every project that you have, you can upload reference files that ChatGPT automatically uses as context for that specific folder or project. I've got one for my YouTube scripts where I upload my best performing ones, so it understands my voice and my pacing. For you, you might have one for your brand guidelines. So this could be your SOP, your sales page, your font, your branding, logo colors, everything like that, right? These serve the purpose of stopping the AI from giving you just generic advice and get it tailored to your exact business and your circumstance. You can also control the memory per project. Keep it all self-contained so it only learns from what's inside of the folder, or just let it pull from a wider history. Honestly, I run about 90% of all of my chats inside projects now, whether I'm using ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, or any other AI tool. Now, hack number 7 is custom instructions, but specifically on the project level, not the account level. Here's the difference, because this one trips a lot of people up. ChatGPT allows you to set custom instructions on your entire account, right? So every single chat you ever have follows the exact same rules. Now, I seriously advise you against ever doing that. Trust me when I say there's nothing that you want applied to every single conversation that you have. But on a project level, however, this is exactly where you want to implement this. Inside your projects, you can write a set of instructions that explain what the project is, how ChatGPT should respond, the tone it should use, what to avoid. I've even built little mini automations in mine, and every project gets its own separate set. So your business project doesn't know about your fitness project and vice versa, right? So for example, my writing project has instructions about my voice and a list of banned words. Just that generic stuff that ChatGPT loves to say that I literally can't stand. You know what I mean, like empowered, revolutionary, leverage, all those kind of buzzwords that it likes to throw around. So every single chat that I start in this specific project knows exactly how to sound like me. So it has guardrails of like what to do, what not to do, and stuff like that. Now here's a quick tip that's going to save you about an hour or so when you go to set this up for yourself. Instead of trying to write these instructions from scratch, do this instead. Tell ChatGPT to write you instructions for the project that you're creating, and then ask it to fire off a series of context questions that you need to answer. Make sure you answer all of the questions honestly, of course, and then paste the whole thing into the instruction field. And then literally you're done. You just set it once and then you forget it. Honestly, setting the projects up properly and adding in your custom instructions is one of the few things that I will actually call a game changer. Now I want to ask you a question. Out of the first 5 hacks that I've just given you, which one would you say is the most underrated? Drop the number in the comment section right now and tell me why. I'm genuinely curious what one lands for you, because the one that I think is obvious usually isn't. So let me know your thoughts down below. Hack number 6 is Canvas, and I can guarantee you 80% of people using ChatGPT either don't know this exists or have completely forgotten about it. Here's what it is, right? When you ask ChatGPT to write anything that's longer than a paragraph, this could be an email, a blog post, a sales page, tell it to open this in a canvas. What it will do is pull the writing out of the normal chat, and then it will drop it into a document window with the prompt box sitting alongside it. It could be on the left or the right hand side. Think of it as the difference between texting someone the edits and sending them the actual Google Doc. One is messy and the other one is built for real efficient work. Now here's what makes it brilliant. You can ask for changes in the side panel and it will literally rewrite the whole thing. And this is the real power move right here. You can actually highlight a specific paragraph or a specific piece of the text and tell it exactly what to do with just that part. For example, you could say, turn this part right here into a bullet point list, or make this bit less formal. then it will only touch what you highlighted and it will leave everything else the exact same. There's also quick fire buttons in the bottom corner. Add emojis, polish, adjust reading levels, change the length, and when you're done, you can export this document as a PDF, a Word doc, or Markdown with all of the formatting intact. Trust me when I say once you start using a canvas mode, you're not going to go back to writing anything lengthy in the normal text chat. Alright, now this is the one. This is the hack that I told you about at the start of this video. The one that saved me around 20 hours in a single month. So pay very close attention here because this one completely changed how I prepare for things that are coming up in the future. Now, most people who use voice mode only use it to chat to ChatGPT when they're walking their dog. That's fine, I guess, but the real unlock comes when you use the voice mode to reverse hard conversations that you've been avoiding or conversations that genuinely matter. This is like having a practice partner that never gets tired, never judges you, and stays in character the whole time. Alright, so here's what it looks like, right? Say I want to prepare for a conversation or a meeting that I'm having with a brand that I really want to work with. I'll open voice mode and say, "You're the head of partnership at Bluehost. I'm a YouTuber pitching to a sponsor deal. Ask me tough questions about my audience and my previous brand deals. Stay in character the entire time."
Absolutely, I'm ready. Once you jump in a voice, I'll be your tough but fair head of partnership. Let's dig deep into your audience and brand's track record.
And just like that, you can see it done everything. It fired off the real questions that I'll get on the real call. It pushes back when my answers are weak. And by the time the call actually happens, I've already had the conversation 3 times. Think of it like a flight simulator, right? Pilots don't learn to land a plane by crashing a real one. They rack up hours first in the simulator so that when the real things happen and they're in the cockpit, their hands already know what to do. They know where all of the settings are. They know what to do in the exact situation. That's exactly what ChatGPT voice mode is like. Voice mode is the same exact thing for conversations. The list of things that you can actually use this for is ridiculous. Salary negotiations, difficult client calls, job interviews, public speaking, even language learning. Here's the bit that most people don't even realize. The reason this saves so much time isn't the practice itself. It's that I can walk into conversations already confident. One 20-minute voice mode conversation replaces about 3 hours of this mental spiral. And I do a version of this almost every other week. This is the closest thing that I've found to a genuine competitive edge inside of ChatGPT. Everyone's just using it to write generic emails. Almost no one is using it to practice hard conversations, which can actually have more of an impact in their life. Now, hack number 8 is ChatGPT's real-time vision mode. When you're in voice mode on your phone, you can literally flip the camera and point it at anything in your environment. And ChatGPT sees exactly what you're seeing and talks about it in real time. Let me give you an actual example from this week. I was setting up a new camera rig for this week's video. For a video, I couldn't work out the lighting. And I don't know why, but I couldn't work out why the lighting was creating a weird shadow on my face. Instead of using Google or scrolling on YouTube for 20 minutes trying to figure out the problem, instead I just pulled up voice mode and then pointed the camera at my setup, and then I asked ChatGPT, why is there a shadow on the left side of my face here? It looked at my lighting, my positioning of how I had everything set up, and it told me exactly what to move and why, and gave me the fix in about 15 seconds. The use cases for something like this are literally endless, right? Just point the camera at a piece of tech that you don't understand the settings and ask it to give you a hand. Point it at a recipe that you're trying to cook and ask it for the substitutions. Even point it at a laptop screen when you're trying to set up some automations in NAN or Zapier and get real-time help without typing out a single thing. It can also be an incredible homework helper if you have kids. Point at a math problem and ask for the explanation. As I said, the use cases are endless. Alright, so now we've made it to the final hack. And I saved this one last because I genuinely think most people are going to see this and be like, wow, I didn't realize ChatGPT can actually do this. If you've ever felt intimidated by a spreadsheet or data, this is going to completely change how you approach them. Hack number 9 is ChatGPT's data analysis feature. And fair warning, this one is much stronger on the paid plan. The free tier barely scratches the surface. Here's what it does, right? You upload a spreadsheet, a CSV file, or any data set that you have sitting in a file. And ChatGPT doesn't just read it. It analyzes it, it spots patterns, it builds charts, answers questions about your data like you've got a proper data analyst sitting beside you. Last month I exported my YouTube analytics, and this had my last set of videos in it, and this was in a CSV file, right? I uploaded this to ChatGPT and I simply said, analyze this data right here and show me 5 visualizations that demonstrates what videos are driving the most amount of traffic to my channel. Within 30 to 45 seconds, it pulled all of the patterns that I missed. Thumbnails of my face close up performed the rest by a clear margin. Certain topics pulled way more watch time than others. That insight right there, I would have had to pay someone to find that out for me, or I would have missed it completely. This works with any numbers: affiliate earnings by traffic source, email open rate across subject lines, monthly expenses by categories. If it's data, ChatGPT can analyze it. Honestly, this is the hack that makes the paid plan worth it on its own. So there you have it, guys. I just gave you 9 hacks that completely change how I use ChatGPT every day. Even if you just implement half of what I've just showed you, you'll be ahead of 99% of people that use this AI. And if you're someone that wants to stay ahead of AI tools, that you don't want to feel like you're always falling behind, and you want free workflows that you can actually use, then I highly recommend you check out a newsletter that I read to keep up with all of this stuff. It's called Vexer. I'm going to put it as the first link down in the description. It's completely free to sign up, and you can start getting weekly updates every single week of what's going on. You get free workflows. You just get so much from it, so much value that's going to help you stay ahead of the curve. With that being said, thank you guys again for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.